something that's been the cornerstone of my background for a number of years. It's one of the things that I was able to develop during my time in the military as well. And so I see that as a competitive edge for Tennessee State University. So we're looking at this on a number of different avenues. Number one, raising the competence not only of our administrative staff, but the same thing as far as our faculty are concerned. We'd also like to infuse the university with high-speed computing, which would allow the researchers to raise their level of research to another level. So I see technology as being one of the key components of how we can create a competitive edge for our students and our faculty at Tennessee State.
And of course, in doing this, not only will that be able to sort of reinforce your whole economic idea of reaching out into the community. And
Absolutely.
I think that I've read in some of the newspaper accounts that you're interested in trying to form some kind of coalition between the community and Tennessee State University.
Well, the first thing that in that regard, and you're 100% correct, I certainly want to raise the visibility of what the university has accomplished within the region, but also nationally. And I think that is one of the ways that people can see what a great return on investment that Tennessee State University is. And from that regard, I think that we will see the kinds of resource injections that the university needs to create that margin of excellence.
You know, one of the things that we always talk about, Dr. Johnson, whenever we talk to these college presidents, is that financial resources, et cetera, because I think that that's one of the things that you have to deal
Absolutely.
with. And let's talk about some of the things in terms of financial resources that can come to Tennessee State University and some of the visions that you have in reference to that.
Well, absolutely. As I talk about this margin of excellence, I sort of need to explain that a little bit, because a lot of people they have some misconceptions about the level of state appropriations that come to the university. And although the state has supported the university, I think we're quickly moving away from a state supported to a state assisted and maybe a state affiliated, maybe state only, if we look at the dwindling of resources that we happen to see from that regard. So I think it puts a number of pressures upon the university to seek external funding. And so from that regard, we're going to have to do a lot more in terms of raising funds for the university externally, as well as the sponsored research activities that I mentioned earlier. So a combination of all of those, coupled with the state appropriations, will allow us to achieve the kinds of results and achieve our vision that I mentioned to you earlier.
You know, the community, I think, has been really interested in Tennessee State University, and I think you mentioned earlier that you tried to deal with various segments of the community, and I think one of the most important segments is right here on your doorstep, and that is the Jefferson Street Merchant Association.
Absolutely.
What would you like to see them do in terms of bringing Tennessee State University and doing some other things? They're already involved, but what would you like to offer them this morning?
Well, I'm very excited from what I see from JUMP and from the Merchants Association, because I think it's going to require a partnership with not only Tennessee State University, but with Meharry and also with Fisk University, to get a strategic plan that we can all buy into, one of which that will involve the students, because that's what it's about. In my opinion, the kinds of businesses that locate along Jefferson Street would have to be those that offer amenities to our students and our faculty. And I think talking to them, getting their input into the strategic plan is a necessity. And I think once that's done, along with some economic incentives, we can have the kinds of businesses that will locate that we see at major campuses throughout the country.
And you know, I think the city of Nashville, Dr. Johnson, has been interested in exactly what you're talking about, because they've done quite a bit. Mayor Purcell has done quite a bit
Absolutely.
in terms of reaching out, and but of course they would be, I'm certain that they would appreciate working with you in reference to that.
Well, we look forward to doing that, and as a matter of fact, the three presidents that I mentioned, myself and Hazel O'Leary and also John Maupin, have met to talk about joint collaborative efforts to make sure that we're planning this in the right way, in a way that would actually complement what we're trying to do at all three universities.
Very good. And of course, Dr. Johnson, we're getting ready for our second commercial break, and after we come back, we'll give you an opportunity to expand perhaps upon some of the things that you've talked about, or to perhaps break some new ground in terms of the kind of information that you're giving us. But this is exactly what we felt that our audience would appreciate by giving us that insight in reference to you. And of course, we'll be back following this very, very short commercial break.